Long ago, in the wide golden plains of Africa, stood the small village of Njaru. The people of Njaru were strong hunters and skilled weavers. They knew how to track lions and build the strongest baskets from reeds. But among them was a boy who did not fit in. His name was Mujahao. Mujahao was thin, with eyes as bright as morning stars. While other children played games or practiced with bows and arrows, Mujahao sat under the great baobab tree listening to the wind. People said he was strange. Mothers warned their children, "Don't waste your time with Mujahao. He only talks to the wind and animals." But Mujahao smiled and continued listening. In the rustling of leaves, he heard songs. In the calls of distant birds, he heard stories. In the movement of the ants, he saw secrets of the earth. One hot evening, when the sun turned red and the air felt heavy, Mujahao heard a different voice in the wind. It did not sing, it cried, "Danger, danger, something is coming." That night, the village elders met under the stars. The air felt dry, and no animals came to the waterholes. The oldest elder, Grandmother Lemba, spoke with trembling hands. "Our river has stopped flowing. The animals have gone. The rains have not come. Soon there will be no food or water." The chief called for ideas. Warriors wanted to go fight a neighboring tribe for resources. Some wanted to leave and find a new land. Then Mujahao stood up quietly. "The wind has told me something. There is hope if we listen." The warriors laughed. The women shook their heads. "What does the wind know about survival?" they mocked. But Grandmother Lemba watched Mujahao with curiosity. Her old eyes shone as she said, "Perhaps we should hear him out. The wind carries messages older than any of us." Mujahao explained that the wind had told him about the Mountain of Whispers, a sacred place far beyond the plains. There, an ancient spirit guarded the secret of bringing rain back to the land. But to reach it, he had to cross the burning sands, climb the cliffs of echoes, and enter the forest of shadows. Though afraid, Mujahao believed, and Grandmother Lemba believed him too. She blessed him, placing a small, carved stone in his hand. "This is the stone of ears," she said. "It will help you hear even the quietest truth." At dawn, Mujahao set off alone, carrying only a water gourd and the stone. Birds flew above him, guiding the path. Ants showed him hidden water under rocks. The burning sands. The sand burned his feet. He nearly collapsed under the heat, but he listened to the ground and found a narrow underground stream. Using his hands, he dug and quenched his thirst. The cliffs of echoes. As he climbed the cliffs, voices from past travelers echoed around him. "Turn back. You will fail." But Mujahao listened deeper and heard a single small voice saying, "Keep going." That was the voice of his own heart. The forest of shadows. Darkness surrounded him. Eyes shone in the night. The trees whispered lies. "You are alone. No one believes in you." But Mujahao pressed the stone of ears to his chest and heard another sound, the beating of his heart and the soft memory of Grandmother Lemba's voice. "You are never truly alone when you listen." Finally, he reached the Mountain of Whispers. Wind roared around it like 1,000 drums. At the top sat an ancient spirit, shaped like a lion, but with the wings of an eagle and eyes that glowed like moonlight. "Why have you come, small one?" the spirit asked. Mujahao bowed deeply. "I come to save my people. They have forgotten to listen to each other, to the earth, to the spirits." The spirit looked into Mujahao's eyes and saw no greed, no pride, only pure listening. "You are worthy," it said. With a great roar, it sent a storm of winds carrying seeds, clouds, and rain. Mujahao felt himself lifted and carried back across all the lands, over the forest of shadows, the cliffs of echoes, the burning sands, and finally back to Njaru. Mujahao landed at the center of the village as the first drops of rain fell. The warriors dropped their spears, children danced, old women sang songs they hadn't sung in decades. The rain poured for days, filling rivers and ponds, turning brown earth into green gardens again. The chief approached Mujahao and fell to his knees. "Forgive us for doubting you," he said. Mujahao smiled and placed the stone of ears into the chief's hands. Use this to listen, not just to the wind, but to your people and to your heart. Years passed. Mujahao did not become a warrior or a chief. Instead, he became known as the listener. People from faraway lands traveled to seek his advice. He taught them to hear the whispers in the wind, the warnings in the cries of birds, and the lessons in the silence of stones. Children began sitting under the baobab tree, closing their eyes, learning to hear not just with ears, but with their spirits. When Mujahao grew old and finally left this world, the winds carried his spirit across the plains. Every time the wind rustled through the village, people felt comfort, because they knew Mujahao was still listening and still guiding them. Final moral: true wisdom comes not from shouting the loudest, but from listening the deepest.